Good afternoon, everyone. So indeed, my name is Michiel. I founded KRIKET 6 years ago with my sister. We're based in Brussels. We're a very small company, a bit smaller than the average companies present over here. And I'd like to start with a simple question. Who's open, who's willing to try an insect-based product? Who's willing to try? All right, okay. Just to know my audience a bit. I'll try to answer 4 questions for you. So the first one is why crickets? I think that's the first question I get when I'm telling people what I'm doing in my life. They ask why. Second one, why are they not mainstream yet? Because we've been hearing about insects for some time. Why is it not breaking through? Third question, some lessons. What did we do differently? And the fourth one is, did it work? First question, why insects? Well, I'll start with a statistic from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. And they've calculated that for every dollar we spend on food, it's costing us as a society $2. So that's $1 on health-related impact, and that's another dollar on sustainability issues. Think of water pollution, air pollution. I think we all agree that we should do things differently and make our food system more sustainable. And crickets, they are a very sustainable protein source. If you just look at the numbers, the CO2 emissions, they're 100 times more efficient in terms of CO2 compared to beef. They consume 2,000 times less water for the same amount of protein than beef. As you can imagine, they're very small, so you can go into vertical farming. So also in terms of the space you need, it's actually a super efficient protein source. And most importantly, one of the most interesting things I think is that they can be grown in a circular way. So crickets, they are a bit like pigs. I don't know, maybe you remember these stories from your grandparents, but before, a lot of families in the countryside, they had a pig to upcycle their food waste, just the leftovers after dinner. Crickets can do the same. They are eating everything, and so they can upcycle organic waste streams. And I think if we think of the 30% of food that gets to waste every day, I think that's an interesting potential. All right, so the numbers, I think they're quite convincing on sustainability. On health, it's even more impressive. So the powder we use, and actually I have it right there, so please come over to see. It's containing 65% of protein. It's a dried powder, it's very concentrated. If you eat a steak, it's containing around 20-25% of protein. So you see, very, very high levels of protein, very high in vitamin B12. So me, myself, before I was a vegetarian, and when I discovered the iron and the vitamin B12 and all the other minerals that are in crickets, actually you have the same benefits than you have in meat, but the climate impact is similar to plant-based. So for me, it was best of both worlds. So also, I think if you look at the nutritional benefits, it's huge, the potential. So okay, why it's not mainstream if it's so obvious that it's the food of the future? I think, first of all, we have to manage expectations. It's not because we believe, and on paper it is, that it's the future, that all of a sudden all Belgians, all Europeans will say like, ah yeah, crickets, never seen them before, but I'll start eating them. That's not how food works. I think we all know food is culture, it's education, it's what you got at your grandma's, what your mother made you for dinner. That is food. Food is emotion and it's culture, so it will take time. And I think it will take a generation. But I'm very hopeful because among younger generations, we see people are open-minded to change their diet to save our planet. A second thing, it's very obvious, but the first insect products that came on the market, they were expensive. And people, they're very sensitive to pricing and they will buy something once to try. But if you want a repeat buyer, you need to benchmark your product that it's not too expensive. And I remember a spread, it was a mealworm spread in the supermarkets, one of the first insect products that I saw on the market here in Belgium. And it was costing €6. And the tapenade that was just next to it was only 3. You see? So that's one first big problem, I think. Then there's the quality. It shouldn't be a gimmick. It should not just be a product that is already existing. Quality, not so important. We just want to have this insect story. We throw it on the market. That's not how it works. Food should be tasty in the first place. So the quality should be top notch. And I think also the approach should be there. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, Carrefour, Deleuze, Colra, they all launched insect-based products here in Belgium. It lasted 6 months and they all disappeared. Why? Because you need education. You need to explain why you should eat. And if you just put it on the shelf, it's not going to work. So you need to put effort in explaining and sharing the story. So how do we try to do things differently? So I think the first thing is that we try to make it accessible. We try to make it as easy as possible for people to try it for the first time. So we've chosen a product, a bar, a muesli bar, that is very easy to eat. You don't need a recipe. Everyone has eaten a snack before. That makes it easy for people. Also, a muesli bar is just €2 in the store. You don't need to spend 6 or 10 or 15 euros to try something you never tried before. A second thing that is crucial is that we use cricket powder. It's invisible. It is invisible, right? So you won't see any cricket. You won't have any leg between your teeth. Impossible. It's a question that I've been asked of very often, so that's why I'm saying. Protein bars is a new product that we just launched. Again, it's a product that people know how to use. We see that in the better for you snacking market, snacking in general, but better for you snacking, so healthy snacking, this is a segment that is growing very fast. I looked it up. It's growing at a rate of 6.6% compound annual growth rate. So it's really where young people go and look for their snacks. And that's a bit coming to my last point. So it's a thing we learned the hard way. We thought first that we would seduce customers by just telling our story, that it's the future, that it's nice to broaden your horizons, to try something new. It did work with some people, but what is working way better now, and what we changed a bit, is that we're now focusing way more on the benefits for the consumer individually. So we say, why should you eat crickets? Because of the protein. Why are proteins good for you? Why do you need protein? Not how can you save the world eating crickets. That's a bonus, don't get me wrong. It's the core of our story, but I'm sad to say, but a lot of consumers are a bit selfish when it comes to buying a product. And you will have 5% of the customers and they will buy sustainability, but 95% in the first place they will buy for their own health because it's beneficial. And if on top it's beneficial, that's a super nice bonus. So we changed the approach a little bit. I think that's also helped us as a company to grow. And so did it work? Just to wrap up, did it work? We've been around for 6 years. We survived COVID, which was tough because we do a lot of tastings. We go out of the building. People need to try this product for the first time before they buy it in stores. And so we couldn't get out of the building during COVID. So we suffered a bit. But I'm proud to say that we grow every year. There is no hockey stick growth yet, but we grow gradually. And wherever we put the bars on the shelf, we see people come again and buy again because they like our product. We are working with Colruyt, Carrefour, Deleuze. So after the disappointment of the first wave of insect products that failed, we are now slowly convincing the buyers again that it actually can work, that people are actually buying the product again. I'm proud to say we launched in the Netherlands. We're about to launch in the UK. We have roughly 1,600 points of sales today. So I really hope that we keep on growing this way. And to finish, I'll ask again, I've asked before, but maybe something's changed. Who's open to try insects? Yay! Thank you very much.